Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today guys, we're going to be talking about the M-VI-Yoh. You've seen the intro, you've seen the title. Let's get into this phenomenal American heavy. And I am going to just go and say this right now. It is currently the best Tier 10 heavy tank as of September 10th, 2023. It is absolutely phenomenal. Whenever the E5 gets its buff, the E5 may be better, but personally, I'm still going to play the Yoh. The Yoh is a phenomenal tank. It is worth the grind still, despite the fact that it's like, what, 2 years old at this point? A year, 2 years old? It is still worth the grind. Let's talk about the line a little bit first. I've been doing, I think I did this in the 60p video. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know if I did this in the Moz video. I'll do it right now. Starts off with the T1 Heavy. I clicked on the wrong vehicle. The T1 Heavy is a Seal Clubber's dream. It is a phenomenal Tier 5 heavy tank. Then we get on to the M-VI-Yoh. This is basically a worse T29 in my opinion. It's a T29 with the exact same gun, the T5E1, but it is slower if I'm not mistaken. It has significantly less armor, and it has I think the thing is it has a slight mobility advantage. Yes, I think a slight mobility advantage. The M-VI-Yoh is where we start to get on to our auto-loading shenanigans. We go from this terrible 105mm to this phenomenal 105 clipper. And by the way, when I was grinding this line, the M-VI-Yoh was seriously not a bad vehicle. It is not a bad vehicle. I mean, personally, I would sell it after you're done grinding it. It's not that great a tier 8 vehicle, but it's not abysmal, alright? It's usable. Then we got to the M-VI-Yoh, and the M-VI-Yoh, you really do need to get this 105. You really do need to get the 120. The 105 is just not a great gun. You have 200 more, you have like 500 more DPM, but you still have a really long clip reload. You still have an 18-second clip reload for 300 damage a shot for 3 of those rounds. It's just not a great thing. And then this abysmal 105 that you start with. No, the 120 is the way to go. Whenever I was grinding the M-VI-Yoh, I just went for the 120. It was not that bad. Now, the M-VI-Yoh, for some people who may be playing World Tanks, see, this is actually the Tier 10 in World Tanks. See, to me, it makes no sense why the M-VI-Yoh is the Tier 10. It doesn't look like a Tier 10. The M-VI-Yoh does. But that may just be confirmation bias on my part, if I could say that. I don't think that's accurate. I don't think that's the right term for it. But, like, I'm used to seeing the M-VI-Yoh in Tier 10. So I just think it looks like a Tier 10. Even though someone who's playing World Tanks PC might say the M-VI-Yoh looks like a Tier 9. So it is a Tier 9, even though it's just because it's a Tier 9 there. Either way. Then we get to the M-VI-Yoh. And boy oh boy is this a good tank. This is worth the grind if the grind were bad. It is that good of a tank. I would take this over the Moz, the 60p, or any other Tier 10 heavy tank. I will take the Yoh over that. The only one that I may not... that I would, like, it would be considerable to take over is maybe the VK90. Like a tail map, the VK90. But anything else, I want the M-VI-Yoh. Now, why is that? Well, we'll talk about that. But for starters, you need to understand that whenever you get the M-VI-Yoh, you are getting 2 tanks in one, and it's all based on which gun you run. You can run the stock 105, which, by the way, is the competitive gun. If you get this vehicle, you crew it, you give it its equipment, you're good to go. You don't need to grind out the 120. I did because I wanted to use the 120, and in my opinion, it is a much more fun gun. But the 105 is definitely a good gun. It is what you'll use if you're going to use this in a tournament. It is what you will use if you're trying to be a sweaty platoon. The 105 is phenomenal. And you may be wondering, okay, well, why would I want to run the 120 over the 105? And there are really only 2 reasons. Number 1, the 105 is the lowest damage of any gun in Tier 10 in Tier 10 for heavy tanks. It has 300 alpha. 300 alpha, I don't think it's the lowest in Tier 10. I'm pretty sure there's something lower. Actually, it may be the lowest in Tier 10. I'm trying to think. I know it's the lowest for a Tier 10 heavy tank. Most Tier 10 heavy tanks, at the bare minimum, will have a 120. The only exception to that is the STRVK. That has a 105. But that 105 deals 350 damage, aka what we deal with a high explosive round. But the penetration is good. Everything else is so good with this gun. You're going to wonder why people run this gun. And it is a boring gun. We'll talk about it in the replay that I did with the 105. I mastered the tank with the 105. And let me tell you, it's a lot easier to master with the 105 in my opinion, because you're just, in general, you're constantly pumping out damage, you're constantly hitting hard, and as a result, people won't push you. And the reason why that's good is because just if someone pushes you in the 120 while you're on a clip reload, you're dead. There's nothing you can do. The best you can hope for is to gun block them, but I've noticed gun blocking does not work quite like it used to. Gun blocking used to work so much better than it does now. But let's talk about the 120. So the 120, much longer clip reload, much here's just so you can see all the stuff that the 105 does better. All this stuff right here. You lose 500 DPM, which is the biggest part. Your the 105 has a 1.7 clip interval. And that's because this is just supposed to hit hard, hit someone for 900 damage, and then you back into cover. It is a fun playstyle. It is very much like the T-77 if you guys own this one. If you guys own this vehicle, the T-77, a lot of people said it is a T-57 interior. It is not. It looks like a T-57, don't get me wrong. That's because I'm pretty sure it was a part of the same project. But it plays like a M-VI-Yoh, just without the armor, unfortunately. Now, let's talk about the other parts of the tank that are just that are specific to the tank and not the gun. For starters, you got great armor. This thing is so good at going hull down. Now you may think 200, that's not great, but look at how angled this is. Like this is like just a gun shoved in an oval. Like that's what it looks like if you were to make this 2D. And because of all those angles, well, it works. The only problem is the 2 hatches on top. The 2 hatches on top, if people know to shoot at these, you cannot go hull down. If people do not know to shoot at these, go hull down. And also, you can lift your gun up enough to where the weak underside of the turret is not shown, and the cupolas are not easy to hit. Kind of like what you can do in a Kron. Similar, but not the same thing, because you have to worry about the underside of the turret. So if you just go straight up, people are just going to shoot the underside of your turret. And I think some vehicles can HE that, by the way, just for the record. You're not going to side scraping this thing. In fact, it is very easy to penetrate with high explosive. If you are running an E4 or something with a 155, just HE the side of this thing or the rear of this thing. And I'm pretty sure you can even... Yeah, you can HE the rear of this turret, by the way. I've done it in E100 before. It's amazing. Now let's go on to the mobility. The mobility is decent. I would not call it great. It is decent. I think that both the T-57 and the E5 are better. But the Yoh's not bad. And for a tank that weighs 52 tons, this thing does fly a little bit. Like, not quite as graceful like a Tiger 1, but it is pretty mobile. And for those of you who don't know, the reason why I'm using the example of a Tiger 1 is because even though in Blitz I don't think it's the fastest, it is, like, in games like War Thunder. And I mean, I know you might think of why you're bringing in War Thunder. Just because very, very mobile tank. And that's heavier than this tank, actually. So let's get on to the consumables. You have the option of running reticle calibration and shell reload boost. I have not run shell reload boost with the 120. I can imagine it probably makes it down to, what, at least 1.4, 1.3 seconds. Maybe it knocks it down even more. And then you can run reticle calibration. Not needed for the 105, but if you want to use it for the 120, you can. I don't recommend it, but if you want to with the 120, that is an option that is valid. Let's talk about the equipment. The equipment is the same for me no matter which gun I'm running. Calibrated, enhanced gun laying drive, vertical stabilizer, defense system, improved assembly, improved optics, and improved control. I do not have these two unlocked because they're expensive and I never had the credits to do it before now. But they don't really matter that much. I mean, that's going to probably be very, very handy if you want to try to use the 105 and just clip with a faster interval. If you want to do that, you can. As for the provisions, just standard provisions, and I don't have the shells currently fixed for this is for the 120. I would run 24 AP, 16 heat, and 6 high explosive. For the 105, this is a little different. For the 105, I would run 27 there, 12 there, and 15 heat. That's what I would run. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to run next. I'll just go and leave it like this. And, yeah, let's get into the replays. I do want, before we get into the replays, I do want to go on and explain sort of the fact that the Yoh is basically only a hull down tank. I would not push on an alley with this that has no cover for your hull. Your hull will get penned a lot because it's very, very easy to pen. Like, it is not hard at all. And another thing is just this, make sure that you're not pushing in, make sure that your side is not to an E100 because they can and they will HE you. I have done it. It has been done to me before. Folks, check the allies you're fixing to cross. Because you might just get a massive 15 centimeter high explosive shell in your side if you are not careful. But let's get into the two games. So the first one is the 105 game. This is a mastery, by the way. Some people may think you don't know what you're doing. I do know what I'm doing in this thing. Well, kind of. I was texting someone, by the way, that's why I was AFK for like 30 seconds. Either way, we're going to push up heavy side for some reason. I don't know why my team went med side, or didn't go med side, but they didn't. Let's go and get up to the action. So, we're going to try to put ourselves in a situation where they cannot see our turret, but we can't do that yet, or where they can see our turret and they can't see our hull. We go on to take a shot at the Maz. You can see we didn't even do 240 damage. We couldn't even do the alpha of a Hellcat. And, well, we're going to try to take another shot. Just going to straight miss. Then we're going to take another shot. That one ricochets. But once this thing gets into a hull down position, there's really nothing that a tank like a T-54E1 can do. There really isn't. Because, especially since he's running the 90mm, I am just an absolute titan to him. And he knows it. Either way, we're going to try and get a shot into that IS-7. We can't. Back up, back up. He does manage to splash us with the HE. I don't know why people do that so often now. It's like they think, oh my gosh, I've aimed at you, so I have to get out some damage, and then they just splash HE, which is hurting your DPM so much. I'd rather not take the shot, honestly. I don't want to hurt my DPM that badly. We're going to go and take a shot of that tortoise. And as you can see, you will pretty often roll below 300 with the 105. Which can be annoying, but whenever you get out 5,000 damage game, or 4.8 thousand damage games like this, you will not be complaining. You get another shell right there. Get another one. And now we are just sort of waiting on that clip to reload. Which we don't have to wait for very long, only 13 seconds. My clip is fixed to be back in action. Ready to rip apart some more tanks. And boom. 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 All three of those rounds, by the way, were AP, and they all rolled under 300 damage, by the way. You're going to see that quite a lot. You're going to have to get used to it if you want to run the 105. But it does have significantly better DPM. And also, it is more accurate, meaning that you can fire on the move a little easier. Albeit, it won't hit as hard, but you can still do it. Either way, boom, miss, boom, and then boom. I don't think we've done one shell that did over 300 damage in this whole game, by the way. But it doesn't matter, because we're already on 2,400 damage. That's great. Now, I'm going to want to take out that IS-7. IS-7s are annoying. Too much armor. And I know some people are going to get mad, but the IS-7 is bad. No, the IS-7 is a pretty good tank if you know how to play it. We're just going to go and push over here, because I really want to get to the Maz. And also, I want to put myself in a better hold down position. As you can see here, we are in a very good hold down position. This is a good position to be in. And that Maz made the mistake of getting nuked. And now we're going to wait on this E100 back up to where he cannot hurt us. Does he get nuked? I thought he got nuked. We're going to go and do one shot there. Another. Yes, he does get nuked. Boom. 3 more rounds into his tank. He is no longer a threat to us. We can pop a shell into him and he is gone. And that's the beauty of this tank. See, we've already got another clip loaded. Look, already another clip. We just clipped out an E100 and we've got another clip ready. Now this tortoise is going to give me a little bit of a hard time here. Very, very annoying. But I want to get the IS-7. I want to take out the tier 10. Boom. And there we go, we finally got around that did over 300 damage. It was a max roll, actually. So this tank does still have a pretty decent max roll, by the way. It will still roll over 350 if you can get a high roll. So it's not like it's a bad alpha. It's just subpar. That's what I would say, just subpar. Yeah, we're going to go on... Boom. And we're going to go and dump the clip. Dumping the clip was probably a bad decision here because I probably could have gotten some damage into the 183 if I had been smart. So we're going to wait on that Moz to come up. We are going to get a shot into him. Thank you for the damage. Unfortunately, we do not get the second one in. And we did 4.8 thousand damage. Just like that. That was, by the way, a very boring game to play. It was not exciting. I was just listening to a podcast while I was playing it, and it was not that exciting until I saw this. Mastery, right there. This was exciting. I have never mastered it before, so that was exciting. And I actually did not do the most damage on my team, by the way. The grill did more damage than I did, so he must have been working his butt off. Either way, now we get into a game that was, in my opinion, a little bit closer. This one is running the 120. And the 120 is more enjoyable, in my opinion. I enjoy games that I play with the 120. Even if I lose, I still have a lot of fun because you fire 2 rounds, 900 damage. That is enjoyable.
Time to roll out.
Either way, let's go on and let's push up. And by the way, you can also notice that the 120 is significantly shorter than the 105. In my opinion, the tank looks better with the 120, even though it's clearly meant to use the 105. It does look better with the 120, at least in my opinion, right? I think that one reason why the 60 TP doesn't look the best is because of how long the 152 is. Just, no. Make barrels a little bit shorter, please. Either we're going to push up right here into heavy alley, and I'm not really sure what I'm expecting. I'm kind of just hoping that some things push. Either way, 50B pushes, can't get a shot into him, but his buddy pushes, and we do get a nice round, and then 463. That's a fair amount of damage. I kind of do wish that the Yo had a 120 like this that was a single shot, but at the end of the day, I get why it doesn't have a single shotgun. It is supposed to be like a it is supposed to be an autoloader, and although I wish it was a single shot with the 120 because I think it'd be a little bit more enjoyable. Oh yeah, by the way, look at that AP 555. I do respect it, and the 120 is still a phenomenal gun, by the way. We're going to do more damage in this game than we did in the last game, despite the significantly worse DPM. We're going to quickly relocate with the M-VI-Yoh. I was actually originally going for him, but then the 183 takes him out. But his buddy is still over there. So, we're going to take one shot, and we're going to take another one, and it lights him up. And he takes 1,200 damage from us. That's like a T-57 Heavy, except we only fired 2 rounds at him instead of 3. How amazing is that, folks? Either way, we push down here. He is not dead yet. The score is 2-2. There are 5 players left on both teams, but I know I can clip out this poor WZ. I know I can clip him out, and I'm going to. We push right here around the corner. We see him. Poor guy. Didn't have a chance. He doesn't even get a shot into us. That's how fast we take him out. And we've already done 3,300 damage. Now, the enemies are not stupid. They are currently leveling the playing field. And that Foch is really scaring me because I don't have good DPM. In a 105, Yo, I would not be scared of the Foch at all. But I am very scared because 900 damage is probably not going to be enough to take him out. But we do see the Leopard. Boom, that's one shot. And we're going to go and take out the 183. That is another thing about the 120 that is really, really good. Is because of the higher alpha damage, you can take out a lot more tanks sooner than if you were running the 105. And because of the fast interclip, you can take out 2 tanks, just one right after the other. It is actually really, really cool to do. I've done it in the T-77, I've done it in the Brask, I've done it in the Yo. It is amazing. Either way, we're going to go and get one shot. That does pen, by the way. Get another shot. But he still has 92 hit points left, and he will kill us if he can get 2 more rounds into us. And he's going to get another round into us. Thankfully, our 183 comes to the rescue and saves us. I'm doing my best to block it, but I can't. And I could have probably killed him before he got a second round in, but it's just nice that the 183 did come and help, because that means I am ready for the Leo. Now, I can already tell the Leo is in town because, he kind of got spotted there. We're just going to keep driving. Oh, hello, Leo. Bye-bye, Leo. And there you go. 5.2 thousand damage. This is a great tank. Grind it. It is not a bad line. It really is not a bad line. It is a fun tank. Now, we only did a first class. I have no idea why we only got a first class on this one, unless it actually takes into account other people who are using the exact same gun and not just the tank. Because we did destroy 3 tanks. We did more damage than the last one. Yet we didn't get a mastery with this one. I don't understand that. And also, we did the most damage on the team. I don't understand that. But either way, that's the O for you. It is a great tank. It is a fun tank. You should play it. You should grind it. It is a good tank. In fact, honestly, if you are starting out Blitz, I would grind the Yo. It is a very easy tank to play because of something I didn't talk about earlier, but I probably should have. The 10 degrees of gun depression that it has. It has 10 degrees of gun depression, meaning that going hold down is significantly easier than with, for instance, an E5. An E5 has 8 degrees of gun depression. Still very, very usable, but hard to do. I mentioned in the 60 DP video that the 60 DP is kind of hard to go hold down with because of its 7 degrees of gun depression as opposed to 9 or 10. Well, the Yo doesn't have that problem. And another thing is just this. The Yo is built to go hold down. Maybe you should try it. Either way, thank you guys for watching. If you liked, leave a like, subscribe. That's all for me today. Bye-bye.